Welcome back to my channel. So this morning we're going to use this Illamasqua palette again, but this time I want to use more of the shimmer shades because I have not had an opportunity to use any of the shimmer shades in here. I only used the matte shades. I think it was only 2 shadows, I believe, that I used on last week when I received my June, I keep saying June, July, because I said another video June, but my July base box from Boxycharm. But we're going to dive in with this palette today using some of the shimmers and see what we can come up with. And for my base today, I used the Revolution Pro in C5. And it says it's an ultimate coverage crease proof concealer, which looks like this. So this is what I'm using today as for my shadow base. So I'm going to smooth out my concealer to make sure it doesn't have any creases in it before we start applying the eyeshadows. So I'm going to zoom you guys in so we can go ahead and get started with this eyeshadow look today. Okay, so let's see what I want to do. I'm not sure at all. So we're going to do the norm. You know, when I'm going to work, I have to do something really, really simple and easy that does not take all day, that I can just work with and get out the door. So I want to use shades I have not used. Let's go in with this lighter shade here. I threw the film away. The names were on the film. I don't usually keep those. So I'm just going to point to the shade that we're using. We're going to use this shade here and blend it on our outer V and into our crease. And you know, I'm always doing this stamping motion. Stamping on the outer V. Like I said, I like the matte. The colors I used last week were pretty nice. And I'm just packing it on my outer V. Let's do the other eye. And this is a good eyeshadow base. It's really good when you use it as an eyeshadow base. I'm just packing it again. And I don't know what's been going on with my lighting lately. I hope it doesn't do what it did yesterday and kind of just start getting light on me. I don't know if it's because I had the ceiling fan light on or what. But I have it off today, so hopefully it doesn't affect my lighting and what I'm trying to do today. You can actually see the final look, because it kind of washed out yesterday a little bit. Okay, so I'm just still packing this shade because it's a lighter shade, but I just wanted to kind of be a little deeper, packed on a little more. Okay, so now I'm going to pat in these circular motions before I start blending. Okay, so now we're going to take a little bit more and start blending. I like these mattes. These mattes are really good in this palette. I'm glad I selected this as my choice item for July. These are some really nice shades. And they blend really, really well in this palette. Okay, let's apply a little bit more. I'm just dragging into the inner portion of my eye. And then just start blending in circular motions as I go into my inner corner. And I love the method I use when I'm going to work because it's like really, really simple, fast. When you use like fluffy brushes like this, it's really easy to apply the shadows and to blend them. It doesn't take a whole lot of work, and it works for me, especially when I'm going to work in the mornings. So the next shade I want to go in with, I want to deepen it up just a little bit. So I'm going to go in with the shade that we used before. I wonder, is that that's like a mauve. I'm not going to do that. Let's go with this deeper chocolate shade and see how it deepens up this outer V. And I'm just going to dab a little bit on my brush and start at this lower lash line and blend up to the top of my outer V. That didn't do a whole lot, so I'm just going to pack it at that lower lash line area, and then we're going to blend, because I didn't want to pack it at the top of it and get it all in my crease. So I want to focus it mostly on the lower lash line and the outer V, and not so much in my crease. Okay, do the same thing for the other eye. Just pack it. And then blend. This is random, but I'm so hungry. So we're just going to keep blending. I really do like these shades and the way they perform. That bottom row on this palette is pretty much like a transition row. You can use this palette, the bottom row, to transition pretty much any other eyeshadow palette you have, you know, like for instance the Jackie Aina palette. If you wanted more transition colors in that range of tones, you could use that bottom row and use those colors, you know, on your lid. Okay, so I think that's looking pretty good. So now I'm going to go back in. I'm going to wipe off my brush on my little towel I have, and go back in with the same shade, and make sure I don't lose that color going from the outer V up into my crease, because I still want that shade to be there. I just wanted to deepen it up just a little bit in my outer V. Okay, so now I think that looks pretty good. Now let's just blend this a little bit more closer to the center of my lid, because I feel like it's kind of harsh. Do the same thing with that eye. Okay, so now we're going to go in with my norm, my fave, if I can find it. I need to clean off this vanity. My base booster. Yes, I love this stuff. So we're going to do the norm. Apply 2 little small dots on the back of my hand. And then apply it on my eyelid where there's no shadow. Okay, and the other eye, the same thing, just apply it all over my lid where there's no shadow. I'm just going to drag it a little more into the center of my eyelid. Ready for some shimmers. Okay, now this is the part I don't know what shimmer I want to use. I think I'm going to go towards the, let's do this gold type shade. And then maybe we'll layer with some of this lighter shade. We'll see. But let's start out with this bronzy shimmer shade and see what it does. Take that same ring finger, and this is what it looks like on my finger, and start packing it on my lid. It's really soft. I'm not going to go too far up. I don't want this to be so intense. But I will use the other shade to go maybe up in my crease. And do the same thing on this eye. Kind of just pack it. It's a pretty shade though. This coppery shimmer. It's really pretty though. I'm just going to use my ring finger to make sure it's, you know, blended really, really good. And I like using my finger for shimmers. Depending on the shimmer, whatever type of shimmer it is, because some shimmers don't stick really well. But I do like to use my fingers when it's a good shimmer, because it applies so smooth on your lid. This is like so pretty. I like this color. This is end up turning out to be a coppery eye. It's pretty. I like it. So I want to do just a tad bit more. We're pretty much on my actual eyelid in the center, not going up into my crease. Just packing it on real lightly. I'm liking this. It's really pretty. So now I'm gonna go in with, I want to take a smaller brush, that way I can use some of this shade next to it and kind of put it in the inner corner going up to the center of my lid, and kind of and see how it looks and transition it into that copper shade. I'm not sure what it's going to look like, but we're going to go with it. So we're going to take this shade here and kind of work it from the center up until we can just kind of like blend it in with this copper shade. And I'm taking this Morphe M124 brush and just pack it on my lid in that inner corner. Okay, so now I'm going to take this pencil brush by Sigma, my favorite little fluffing brush. I like brushes like this. That's why I get my really preciseness, my good blending. To me, these brushes are so good for blending, especially the crease area when you don't want to go all the way up to your brow bone with shadows. So I'm just taking this brush in circular motions and windshield wiper motions and just blending the shades, making sure they're blended well together. Let's do the other eye. Now I'm going to go back in with this deep chocolate shade that we started out with. I hate I can't fold this palette because it's a cardboard palette. I'm just going to break it. I'm going to go back in with this chocolate shade just a little bit and deepen up this outer V again. Because I feel like when I placed that shimmer, it kind of took away some of this color in my outer V. I'm liking the way that's coming together. So now we're going to take a little bit more of the shimmer shade, the lighter shade that I put in my inner crease, and just run it through really lightly through the top of my crease. Because like I said, I didn't want that bronzy shade all in my crease, so I'm going to go in with this lighter shade that I put in my inner corner and lightly drag it up to my crease. So I have a little bit of shimmer there, but not the copper shimmer. And now I'm going to blend the two shades together, the edges of the colors. Okay, so now I'm going to go I need to get my little Elf face palette so I can make sure my brow bone area is more of a natural shade to my skin tone. And my little favorite baby right now is this little Elf Total Face palette with this bottom shade here. And I just pack it because it's really light, and then just place it in the area where there's no shadow. And I like to stamp it first in, and to me it gives it that natural complexion look, and it's not dry, it's not still wet from the concealer, and that gap is not there. And I know I say that a lot, I just have to make sure I repeat it. Okay, so now I'm going to blend what's at the top of my top eye area leading up to my brow bone, so it'll be seamless. That's really pretty. It's come together really, really pretty. But I do want to do one last thing. I feel like I'm losing some color on my eye. So I'm going to go back in with this deep chocolate and place it back in my outer V. I don't want to lose the depth in this eye look. But I don't want to pack it too deep and I'll be here all day blending. And then I have to go to work. So let's clean up. I think it's pretty. I like this coppery look. We're going to clean under the eye area. And I always take a makeup wipe. And I always add micellar water to it. So it's not as harsh and it's actually removing really, really simple without any irritation and really pulling. So I don't like the tape method. I can't stand that tape being stuck to my eyes. So I always find this way give me that clean, crisp look that I want from after I do my eyeshadow. If I want to have that crisp look, I do it anyways. But if you just not with the tape method like me, then that's another way to carve out your shadows with that cream crisp look. So I'm gonna zoom you guys in before I finish the rest of my eye look, and I'm gonna apply my liner lashes and my full face, and I'll be back to show you guys the final look. See you guys in a bit. Okay, so welcome back. This is the final look. I like the way it turned out. I hope you guys like the way it turned out. Now, I didn't do any more eyeshadow. I didn't add any more. Let me zoom you guys in so you can see. I did not add any more eyeshadow to to my eyelids. Can't even get my words together. It's too early for this. But I did use, again, my Cheerleader Mini Bronze Squad by Benefit. And I've been using this for a while. I'm getting a lot of use out of it. But you can use any highlight and bronzer that you want to use. So the only thing I did was use Cookie to highlight my brow bone area. And then I popped some in the inner corner. And again, I did not apply any lower shadows on my lower lash line. A lot of times I don't do it. Sometimes I do. But I think it's really pretty. I like it. I did not do any blush today. No, I'm sorry. I'm lying. I did not do my Juvia's Place blush. But I did use these two together as a blush. So now for my lips, I'm gonna put on, I think it's only fair with this eyeshadow look, that I use this ColourPop in the shade Wonder. And I think this is the newest newest collection. The Lush something. I don't have it in front of me. Lush something. I'm looking at it over there, but I don't see the name. But this shade here, I'm gonna apply it to my lips so we can wrap up this video. I like the little peachy tint to it. Smells good. I like it. I think everything came together well. Let me zoom you back out so you can see the finished look again. I like it. Y'all like my side bun? I like it. But I hope you all like this video. I hope you all like my tutorial this morning, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Goodbye.